Hello, hi. You probably did not expect to see this video in your feed if you've stayed subscribed in the almost 3 years that I have not uploaded. Thank you so much. And if you're a new viewer, thank you all for clicking in and giving this video a chance. So if you're new here, I'm Jessie and I run an online stationery shop called Oddloop. All links will be down in the description box below. But yeah, I used to do plan with me videos on this channel and I have not done one in 3 years, which is crazy. I think the last video that I uploaded, I said I would be back soon, and soon ended up being that long. So I'm so sorry about that, but I wanted to hop back on and say hi to everybody. So a lot has happened in the 3 years that I've been gone, but before I get into all of that for the rest of the video, just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping. So this bullet journal that I'm using for memory keeping is from Archer and Olive, and I'm also using a kit that we just released called the Lo-Fi 95 kit. You can find that in our shop, links all down below. And I'll also be listing any other sticker shops that I use. I won't be specifically naming them in this voiceover, but I'll list them all down below. And if you just had a question on any specific sticker that you weren't clear exactly where it's from, you can always leave a comment and I will answer. So where have I been the last 3 years? I think my last video was made back in November 2017, and at the time I was doing a master's program in accounting, and I started that in 2015. And as soon as I started it, I knew that this was not something that I enjoyed learning about and doing. And so Oddloop actually started at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016 maybe. And it was started as a way for me to distract myself from being unhappy with my educational and career choice at the time. And it quickly turned into something that I just fell in love with. I loved planning and I loved the entrepreneurial part of it and being my own boss and setting my own hours. So for the entire 2 years that I was learning accounting, I was also running Oddloop full-time, and it worked out great because my classes were at night, and so I could work on Oddloop for pretty much the entire day before I went to classes at night. And classes were only like 2 to 3 times a week, so it wasn't hard to be able to balance both school and the shop. So about the time that my last video was posted, that was my last semester of school, and I graduated December of that year in 2017. And at that point, I was faced with essentially a crossroads in my life. On the one hand, I could continue on this educational path that I had been on my entire life and continue to find a career in accounting, or I could pursue Oddloop full-time. So at that point in my life, I was mentally in this headspace of these values that had been instilled in me growing up. You know, that to have a successful life, you needed to go to school, get good grades, go to a good college, and then continue on to have this stable career in the corporate working world. And that's how you would be happy in life. And mentally, I was just not ready or confident or even understand the idea of dropping everything that I had been working towards and pursuing this little small business of mine full time. So naively, I thought that maybe I would try and balance Oddloop with a full-time job, because I also wasn't ready to give up Oddloop. Like, I loved and still love doing Oddloop and working on my own small business. And so I didn't want to give that up. So in the beginning of 2018, I looked for and found and accepted a job in Orange County. This job was in accounting, and I was actually pretty excited for a little bit in the beginning. I had these plans, I was going to work my 9 to 6, and then I was going to come home at nighttime, work on Oddloop, work on YouTube videos, and it was going to be great. It was going to work out beautifully. I mean, this is what I told myself in my head. Spoiler alert, that did not go as planned, as you can see, because I have not posted here for almost 3 years. Essentially, it's the commute that killed me. So my commute to and from work one way took from an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half sitting in traffic. And I also discovered that I have a really bad tendency of falling asleep while driving in traffic. And so I would be getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning to get to work on time. And then my job ended at 6 o'clock, but I wouldn't be able to go home because it was prime traffic time. And so I would end up staying on campus. I would either work overtime or go to the gym that we had, or even just nap in my car. And I wouldn't leave work until maybe 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. And even then, it would take me half an hour to drive home. So then I was getting home at 9:30 at night, eat dinner, and then all of a sudden it's bedtime. And I found myself feeling like I had no time for anything that I actually enjoyed doing, like oddloop and YouTube videos. All I was doing was living to work. Like I would wake up in the morning, work, come home late at night, sleep, wake up, work, and then the vicious cycle would just repeat over and over. And on the weekends, I also found myself just not motivated to do anything because I was so tired from the week, through the weekdays. And I also wasn't even happy doing what I was doing. And so just this period of maybe 2 years that I was at this job, I was so unhappy. And in addition to that, I was also even more unhappy because everything that I had enjoyed doing was dying. Like YouTube died, as you know. Oddloop definitely was not operating at the same level of capacity that I was used to operating at for the past 2 years of my life. I just did not have the same amount of time to dedicate to the business. And you could definitely see that in our audience engagement, in the amount of releases that we were able to come out with. And even for the last year of 2019, I think, I disappeared from Instagram. Like I did not post for almost an entire year. And that made me really sad to see this thing that I had worked so hard towards just fall apart like that. But silly me just thought that all of these feelings of discontent that I had were just due to the terribly long commute. And if I had just found a job that I lived closer to, then I would also be able to carve out time to do the things that I actually enjoyed doing. And also simultaneously be able to work towards this vision of success, like this vision of what I had to do in order to be successful in life. And so towards the end of 2019, I started looking for a new job, and I found one, and it was actually really close to where my boyfriend Ricky is living. And so we thought that, this is great. I would accept the job. I would also move in with him so that my commute was literally only 10-15 minutes long and there was no traffic. So come December 2019, I was all ready to have a fresh start, right? I had just gotten a new job. I was living together with my boyfriend, and it was supposed to be this really exciting time for all of us. And within that first week of starting that new job, I was even more unhappy than what I was prior. I was constantly coming home stressed. I worked even longer hours than what I had been working at because it was a startup and you just needed to be there longer. We had a lot of stuff to do, and that in itself is fine. Like I'm not afraid of hard work, but it just wasn't work that I was enjoying, right? And so I was coming home being all negative, stressed, crying. I would then in turn affect Ricky with my terrible, crappy mood, and what was supposed to be this joyous time for us ended up being just really unhappy. And in February of 2020, so that was like 8 months ago, Marie Kondo actually came into our company, and she was doing a photo shoot. Marie Kondo, you probably know, is the author of The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and she has this philosophy where if you don't enjoy something, like if it doesn't bring you joy, then throw it away. And I do get that Marie Kondo is talking about physical items when she says to throw things away, but I was just so desperate at that point that I took it as a sign from the universe that Marie Kondo came into my life when I was feeling this way and I needed to do something about it. And so I told myself, this job is not bringing me any joy. This field of accounting is not bringing me any joy. So let's throw it away. Okay, in all transparency, I didn't completely throw it away. I meant to, and then my manager really needed somebody still. So I'm in sort of this transition period where I'm a part-time remote position and I only have to dedicate 10 to 15 hours a week to my corporate job. So it's really not that bad. Nothing compared to what it was like before. And ever since then, we've been working back on oddloop. We kickstarted it back up in July, and it's been going great. And my mental health is so much better. I'm in a much better place. I'm extremely content and enjoy what I'm doing now. And that's all thanks to you guys. I'm so appreciative of the fact that if it were not for you, I wouldn't be able to sit here, tell you my life update, and do what I enjoy doing. So thank you all so much. It took me a little while to get here. I went through 2 jobs, a master's program, college, and you guys don't even know how many times I changed my mind on what I wanted to do in life in college. I went from being pre-med to wanting to do optometry, pharmacy, bioengineering. I even, after college, did a year's worth of nursing school before I did my 2 years in accounting. And looking back on it now, I don't regret anything that I've done because my mentality is that if you learn something from an experience, then that experience is not a regretful one. So everything that I've been through has led me to where I am. And this is what I want to do. I want to be able to be my own boss. I love planning and bringing you products and artwork that hopefully bring you a little bit of happiness in your life. And this is it. And again, just thank you all so much for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for not deserting us when I was going through all of this and figuring things out and not being active with oddloop and on Instagram and on YouTube. And thank you for welcoming us back with such big open arms. I genuinely cannot express how much I appreciate you guys. I love you and thank you for letting me do what I love doing. So I think that's where I'm going to leave off. I do plan on becoming more consistent with these videos. I mean it this time. Next week, I think I'm going to be doing a Q&A. So if you have any burning questions, anything you're interested in, just leave a comment down below and I might pick it to answer in my next Plan With Me. I'll also be putting up a poll for the Q&A also on my Instagram. So if you aren't following us on there, we post all of our new release sneak peeks, giveaways, announcements, fun things all over there. So again, all links will be down below. And I think that is it. Thank you all so much for sticking around and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.